Good evening, guys, and welcome to another video with Invictus Trader. My name is Robert Sutu. I hope you guys stay safe today. As we were trading today, I unfortunately ended up getting kicked in the teeth 3 times, and I kept going long from key level areas as price was pulling back. For me, I had to call it quits after my third stop loss and take my weekly profits and run for the door. However, today gave us some very important market generating information. I'd like to go ahead and start my weekly review as I do this analysis with the monthly chart, and we could take a look at this monthly chart and see this megaphone pattern that we keep having over here. And price just keeps respecting this megaphone pattern. This is anchored off July 2024. That particular high, I believe, gives us a good area to kind of anchor our megaphone pattern, and price has been oscillating and rotating and respecting that particular upper end of the megaphone pattern. As we see over here, we ended up going above it once, and then again last night they got above and rejected. As price is rolling over now, we have to kind of take a look and see where we could possibly draw to. I believe that the October-September body candle area around 57.30 is going to be a crucial level to kind of observe next week as we continue into market rollover and as December comes to an end and the year comes to an end. As we take a look at the monthly volume profile, it kind of caveats the information we had previously seen on that monthly candlestick chart. As we take a look at the previous value area high at 68.89, we could definitely see that buyers failed to hold that crucial level. We went above it yesterday, especially in the evening hours after the regular trading hour closed. The market kept melting up. And today, this morning, buyers failed to hold that key area. Now we have balance again for this month back inside the previous balance area. So now the likelihood and high probability target will be this volume profile at 67.58 on a previous monthly volume profile. If that level does not find new buyers, then we could possibly roll back over into 66.90, and then from there lower targeting previous months zones of interest. But for now, we're taking it one step at a time. Next week is going to be a key level week as the contract rollover takes place and as we end the year. Again, everybody's talking about the seasonality of the Christmas rally. We are yet to experience this to a certain extent, but it's something to kind of keep in mind. But again, going back in the previous monthly balance, we're going to go ahead and look at 67.58 as the highest probability target for price to gravitate towards. As we take a look at the weekly candlestick chart, we can definitely see some more valuable information. That 69.53 area, give or take, is that all-time high that was made in the overnight session. Generally, highs that are made in the overnight session is unfinished business. Market is definitely going to want to continue to flush those stops above that zone and kind of fill in that inefficiency. But again, we have to err on the side of caution. We have a lower high that was developed today, and the market just definitely transitioning from a trending market to a more balanced zone. We have this extreme range that's been a multi-week range that we're kind of going into a balance area, and price is kind of just oscillating around those zones. Again, this chart right here kind of demonstrates a little bit of caution, and I'm being a little bit more apprehensive in regards to getting more aggressive. Right now we have 3 RSI divergence as price is making a high. Again, those RSIs are not indicating strength. Right now we're having a failed attempt at that all-time high. So question now remains, is sellers going to go ahead and take control, or are we just looking for new money to kind of short squeeze into the all-time high level? Question is going to be after that, is that all-time high level going to hold price above there? Is new money coming in at the highs, or are we going to sell off? But as of right now, we're in a balanced range, and patience is key. As we take a look at the weekly volume profile, it kind of caveats off the previous chart. Yet again, buyers failed to kind of take out that all-time high, failed to hold above 69.09, 6900, and we ended up going back into that balance zone below the 68875 zone. So with that right there, we have now a strong probability of possibly moving lower towards 6723 and kind of filling in some of that low volume from the November 21st rally that we experienced. Today, 6805 kind of held for price. 6802 was the previous week's low, and buyers stepped in from keeping price going below that area. As you can see from this volume profile, the 6805 and 6802 would have been a very strong area for for liquidation. If sellers are able to take hold and buyers lose that key level, then it would definitely flush price lower towards 67.23.25. The fact that buyers are able to hold the price above that level by a hair kind of gives them a little bit of a hope for next week. Clearly, this sell-off is not as strong as intended, but more just of a search for stop losses and momentum to go higher into next week. Again, key level areas right now, 68.05, 68.02 for next week. If sellers manage to go ahead and break that level, then we have a clear target through that low volume area from November 21st move to go ahead and target 67.23. All right, guys, as we take a look at the daily chart over here, we have some valuable information I kind of want to focus on. The most important one, again, is the 9 EMA on this particular chart failed to hold price back. 68.79 generally should have been respected if there was strong bullish momentum. Bulls failed to hold the 9 EMA. We sold that off, but most importantly, we closed below it. In addition to that, we closed below the monthly anchor VWAP at 68.58 area, and buyers were able to find a little bit of support at the 21 EMA. Moving into next week, we have to kind of pay attention to the 50 EMA now. Is 6771 able to hold price? And is the previous anchor VWAP, November's anchor VWAP around 6744, going to be able to offer some additional support and some new money for buyers? Again, those two key levels are going to be pivotal. If those levels go and momentum intensified, then we're going to have the 100 EMA at 6655. And there's a small liquidity gap, as you can see right over there, that could possibly attract price a little lower. But again, that's far off into the future. We got to take it one level at a time. Right now, most important is the 21 EMA and the 50 EMA on a daily chart. Another caveat I want to point out that kind of gives me a little hesitancy to the bullish mindset or the bull run that everybody's talking about is the divergence in the RSI on a daily as well. As you see, price as it continues higher and higher, we continue to have lower and lower RSI. To me, that is textbook caution. I'm not feeling very comfortable or warm and fuzzy in regards to going long or getting aggressive as long as those RSIs continue to diverge, as long as we make a new high. Again, that's just my personal awareness of the market. That's very valuable information that I'm getting, but I'm just being very cautious as this bullish run continues. As we take a look at the 2-hour chart, I like to kind of look at this particular chart with the volume profile, predominantly the weekly volume profile in the background. That kind of gives me a great opportunity to kind of look at the internals and see what's going on. Again, just like I've been saying before, price was unable to kind of hold above the 69 area, the 688 area, and buyers just were not able to find support and provide us that information that we needed to say, hey, this is going to be a meaningful run. There's new money coming in, and the all-time high is definitely going to be taken out. As buyers were able to take control and moved above 68.67 and 68.63, that made price at a premium level. And as we can see, 169.28 was hit in the overnight yesterday. Just sellers were able to take hold and buyers just never looked back. Price moved back inside weekly balance. And then probably the most important information that we have right now is sellers were able to close price below balance. We had 68.41, 68.47 as the point of control, and 68.63 as the value area high. But as of this close, as of Friday, as right now, sellers were able to close price below weekly balance. Not only this weekly balance, but also the previous week's balance zone as well. So now we got to kind of take a look at this November push-up where we kind of have a low volume area. There is no resistance, and there's a low volume zone essentially all the way back down to 67.23. If next week, again, 68.02, 68.05 ends up breaking and sellers gap down below that area, or they didn't just flush the buyers out, we could definitely see price aggressively moving back into 67.31, 67.23, and if no buyers show up at that particular area, the volume point of control, then we could definitely look again for 66.6825 as the possible next target. But for now, the highest probability again is going to be 67.31 and 67.23 for the highest area of support moving forward into next week. Well, if you've stuck with me all the way to the end right now, this is the quarterly chart. This thing is going to kind of tie it all in conclusion and kind of paint a better picture of everything that I've kind of said. again, Q4 was made in the overnight high, the Q4 high. And that right there seems to be the magnet on price that buyers are going for. Unfortunately, just weren't able to get there. So we got this lower high established right now going into next week. But in addition to that, price closed below the monthly anchor VWAP. So as you can tell right now, December has been a pretty challenging month. So far, every time we've hit that anchor VWAP, buyers just moved in aggressively, was defending that zone. But all of a sudden, just weren't able to. Buyers failed to hold the anchor VWAP again, and we sold off. On the quarterly anchor VWAP, as you can see, we have price around a 67.52. Also ends up being a pivot zone. So again, that right there could be the highest probability target zone to go ahead and have price migrate towards. If that area fails, then we have the previous Q3 high, again at 67.52, and then November's area, November anchor VWAP at 67.44. So for next week, again, we have some key levels to definitely keep an eye on. And as of right now, I am no longer flipping to extreme bearish with the target of all-time high. I'm looking at sellers taking control for the short term, taking price back to a very key level. So after that, we'll see what happens, but we're going to take it one level at a time. Is 67.52 zone, the 67.44 does not hold, and we have a more aggressive sell-off, then we could definitely anticipate 66.55, and then again, a targeting Q4 low at, excuse me as I close some of this stuff, at 65.40 and 65.25 level. That right there was area was kind of flushed. We had the first initial Q4 that was held, and then we ended up flushing it again in November 21st, where we started this big run back up towards the all-time high. But again, right now we're looking for new money, so we'll see which level holds the best. It's all about momentum and strength moving forward into next week. With that said, I appreciate you guys' time. If you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe, hit a like button, give me a few comments, and good luck trading and have a good weekend. Thank you.